Hi, this is Johnny. I'm a global artist ambassador from FENIX360, and I'm joined today by the classical musician and cellist, Sam Kunin. Hey, Sam, how are you?
How's it going, Johnny?
Oh, buddy, it's good, man. Thanks for being with me. I appreciate you. Hey, listen, I
Thank you
was
for the
wondering,
opportunity.
oh, cool. Listen, I want to share with people some of the work that you have up on YouTube. So if it's cool with you, we will actually tune in now to the Rage Hyper Pop. Is that cool?
Absolutely.
All right, man. Well, let's do it. Okay, everybody, let's tune into Sam Kunin and Rage Hyperpop. Hey, Sam, killer beat, man. Great to listen to it.
Thank
And
you.
thanks for letting us share it. So listen, I was wondering if you could tell us, where you're from, and I'd love to hear about your journey becoming an artist.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm from near the Burlington area in Vermont.
Mhm.
And I started having an interest in music at a very young age. I began playing the piano when I was 5.
Wow.
And then after about 2 years of that, I really kind of fell in love with the cello. Um, and I just particularly the Bach suites. So I began practicing that when I was about 8 years old. And I've been playing ever since then. Um, it's been a big interest of mine.
Wow, it's incredible. You know what I mean? And that's quite a discipline to go from that piano bench into a new instrument and then stick with it to the extent that you've now developed where you're really integrating some new styles and integrating that cello into its own unique frequency and also collaboration with other sounds. So appreciate that, Sam.
Of
Hey,
course, yeah.
listen, can you tell me, you've got this classical background, but I'm interested in your musical tastes as well. Like, what are some of the artists that you think inspired you, maybe in the classical realm, but also in just, in pop or other kinds of genres?
Right. I think so in classical music, I've always been drawn to the music of Bach, particularly the unaccompanied cello suites. I mean, I think those are just the kind of like trademark sounds of the cello.
Mhm.
For anyone who even doesn't know anything about classical music, you can recognize the prelude and all those things. And I think it's just the way he was able to kind of like build chords and do things like 500 years ago. It's just crazy that it's still beautiful to people today. And then I began to, be interested in producing. I'd say two big producers that have influenced me a lot are Kenny Beats, who many people know through his YouTube, and I've learned a lot from him, as well as Nick Mira, producer for the former Juice World, and a lot of big artists. Just two people that have kind of like influenced my sound a lot, I can say.
That's great, Sam. And so listen, you know what I mean, with those kinds of heroes or people you look up to and so forth, can you appreciate their work, but do you feel like the influence helps empower your own performing?
Absolutely. I'd say, as a kid, I used the Suzuki method. Was what my teacher taught me, which is a way of learning classical music where we basically had a tape we put in the car, and every time like my mom drove me around, we'd be hearing the songs that I was learning on the cello. And so even when like I didn't like read music until like a few years into it, but I would just have the song stuck in my ear, and I was able to kind of learn how to like put pitches in my head, and just kind of like hear things without having to see it on paper. And so that's kind of been able to translate for me making music. If I'm just like picking up an instrument like a keyboard or even a ukulele, I could hear
Uh-huh. I've
melodies
got
in
one
my
too. I
head.
love ukulele. Uh-huh.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. It's a cool instrument.
It's
But I'm just able to kind
it's
of
a
like
much more dynamic instrument than I think people think,
definitely, yeah, it's
yeah. So at any rate, I appreciate that. And the fact that you have that kind of talent, that it translates into multiple instruments, Sam.
Mhm.
It's interesting, but I think that comes from something that's kind of natural, but it takes practice. It's, you know what I mean? If you have desire, you can become a musician and become a proficient musician with the hard work,
Mhm.
right?
Absolutely.
But it's the love and the drive,
Right.
so at any rate, I appreciate that. Now, listen, are you working on anything right now that you use your social media platforms to promote?
Yeah. So recently I found, Instagrams has been like big thing for me. I think a lot of producers will agree with me. Just you can post things, kind of gain traction with artists in your area as well as artists, around the world. And I'll just like post snippets there, and then I also will, use the DM feature and like find artists that are also promoting themselves, and we can start to collab, because at the end of the day, everyone wants to make great music together, and Instagram is just a really great social platform for that.
Sure, I agree with you. You know what I mean? I think some of these tools are great ways to be able to present your work and to communicate with others.
Mhm.
And we certainly are going to provide that opportunity in Phoenix 360 for you to connect more directly with fans. We're going to look forward
Mhm.
to you being part of it, Sam. So I want everybody to tune into Sam Kunin's social media channels. You can find him below our interview today and look for him coming up on Phoenix 360. Sam, thanks for being with me, man. I really appreciate you.
Of course. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah. Happy holidays out there in Burlington. You take care.
You as well. Have a good one.
Sweetie.